Bust the vibe, Janet Jackson, here we go. One time, baby, just tell me just how you feel. We living it and just giving it to you real, baby, come on. Every time we crossing the borderline, we giving it to you, making you feel fine. Turn the heat up, better believe we gon' shine. Make your body wine, baby, the pleasure is all mine. To my people who you regulating the dance floor. Better step to your business and handle yours, how we do it. Making your people just wanna bounce and get busy because you know that we always hit you off. What you say? You wondering why you feeling the force. And don't you worry, cause you'll be ready to floss. More heat, cause I always put you on. And go to spot to the very second I'm gone. Get your groove on. Now that you're tired,
I hope your body recouping because of keeping it moving and what you're doing. Now you know we're gonna. Your ass fried, baby, come on. Why to deliver the shit that'll hit you right in your liver all day? Heavy as the crowd, y'all. Get everybody in the room.
No matter whatever you wanna flaunt. We be whipping the babies and what you want. Here we go. Painting the picture, we keep it hot in the winter. Now big up my people, you know I'm always with you. Flip mode, we blowing and taking over the planet. Full blast, hitting with Busta Rhymes and Janet, and you know we're gonna make your body wet. Yeah. Gonna make your body scream out, yeah. Make you do naughty things. On me, on you. What it's gonna be.
Yeah.
We're gonna make your body real wet. We're gonna make your body say yeah. I wanna know where my road dogs is at. I wanna know where my live women is at. We're gonna make your body real wet. We're gonna make your body say yeah. Everybody bring your hand real high. And let me see you all put them up in the sky. Come on, look at my niggas to say word up and making you women to say baby come on, bringing it to you in many ways. We making it, taking you people right through another phase. Come on, we rocking it, baby. That's how we dropping it, baby. There ain't no stopping it, baby. I know we driving you crazy, and then we give it the greatest of all time. No matter what you do, baby, we gon' shine, and you know we're gonna make your body wet. Scream out, yeah. Wanna do the naughty things. On me, on you. Yeah, what it's gonna be.
Another live episode. We here.
Janet Jackson. What? Close the door.
Yeah, that was my track right there. When disaster strikes. Right. Now for some Most Blind.
Now I got a crush on you, my
Love
baby.
me, girl, love me
I got
too.
a crush on you, my
Love
baby.
me, girl, beauty. I got a crush on you. Love my baby. I got a crush on you, my baby. Beauty. I got a crush on you.
Shout out to my main man, Midas the Great. And Derek Red on the sax. This is Beauty on The Myth of the Social Misfit. You can find on Spotify. Yeah. Beauty is her name. Beauty is her name. Today we have another wonderful podcast. For all y'all tuning in, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. I had to take a minute to think about this because I was like, you know, I got a lot of main men. My main man this, my main man that. But today, we got the first female guest on the pod. It's my pleasure. It's my honor. It's a privilege. So I was like, how am I gonna say that? I can't just call her my main man. But you know, we call everybody bruh. Bruh. My main woman. Yeah, man, D-Red's dope. So glad I got to work with him over these years. We still got some projects up and coming. You got to make sure you hit the bell notification so you know when the lives are coming on. It's important. Yeah. What you doing? Where you at? Who you with? You are now tuned in to the Heavy is the Crowd podcast. I'm your host, Most Blind, D.O. Malone, DelTha510, the Hungry Hustler, the Social Misfit, the Cash App's DelTha510. Let's go. Giving them little visuals. They out there geeked and they just staring at the screen. Ain't no telling when they're gonna be listening to this. A lot of people listen live. A lot of people listen. You know, I get a lot of people that listen between the hours of 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. So, hey, whatever part of the world you're in, I'd like to thank you. I say. Hey, I've been given the foundation, a resource, and a platform to express my thoughts and opinions based upon my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of this life here. Hey, we're just trying to learn out here. We're trying to give back to the community. We're trying to do the right thing. You know? So here we are. Heavy is the crowd, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. For all the few people that's here during the live right now, I want to say, what up, though? Today I have a special guest. We talking food, folks, and fun. We're talking community. We're just talking about life things. We're trying to promote a player. This wonderful lady that I'm about to introduce to you, or I'm introducing to you right now, she has dealt with many ways of the world. She has overcome outstanding amount of adversities. We're here to talk a little bit about that, but primarily she brought me some plates. Who am I to deny somebody that's gonna bring me a hot plate? Hot. We got some good stuff, and I think I might give you a little sneak peek of what the stuff looks like. You know, there's always a sense of like, you just love the feeling of when you get like a hot plate, you get that nice home cooked meal in a styrofoam container. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's presented to you. You know what I'm saying? You just be able to walk around with it pop it open, you know what I'm saying? Take a bite, put it back in there, close the lid. You know, shout out to all my podcast pioneers prior to my arrival. Shout out to my loyalists and extremists, and shout out to my day ones in the last days. We are at 202 subscribers. Completely awesome, right? Give you a round of applause. Yeah, see, there are many people in there right now. You know what I'm saying? They'll get in here though. They'll get in here though. But without further ado, let's talk about the subject matter that really matters. I'm with my main woman. We go back like 4 flats and 8 tracks. You know, I've seen what she's been doing around for quite some time, and she's been very aggressive in achieving her goals. And I just wanted to give light to it, you know? Promoter player, it's a beautiful thing, you know? Especially when it comes to food and the estafado hambranito. That's Spanish for hungry hustler. But without further ado, I want to introduce to y'all my main woman of VeeLaSoul's Catering. We got Veronica on here. Give it up, y'all.
Hey, everybody. I gotta clap myself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, sometimes you got to give yourself a round of applause because other people won't do it for you, you know, just out of spite. People hate, you know. But it's all about love. It's all about love right now.
I don't wait and see what they're going to do. I just clap for myself and keep it moving.
Yes, and you deserve another one for that. You know what I'm saying? Especially for being the first female guest on my show.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Hey,
Good props.
thank you for showing up.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Before we get into these plates and such, tell me how you doing and what you doing, where you at, who you with?
I'm actually doing pretty good in life right now. My business is moving around. It's shaking like I want it to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still maintaining my regular job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to know my community better on different avenues, which is always a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had the opportunity of being in a group that helps me build my business, Paramount Pursuits.
Okay, shout out to
them. I always
them.
have to give them love, yes. Helena Jones, Trish, Paramount Pursuits, Julie, I love you all. Thank you for everything. Probably wouldn't even be here at this point in my life without them. So, you know, that big ups always go to them first.
Okay.
Thank you to God because I'm here today.
Absolutely.
With prayer, I wake up every morning.
Absolutely.
So, you know, always got to get out respects. And just happy to see what the business has been doing on its own. My motto is a taste of soul in every bite. And so far, every bite has been giving me respect.
Yeah, you know, my first question, though, before we go too far deep, do you just do a la carte or do you do buffet style food?
My specialties is making sure the customer is happy. So it's what the customer asks for.
So you go by the plate or you'll go by the whole table,
Yes.
however they want it.
I've done pans sold to groups by the pan. I've done appetizers sold out by the appetizer, which is the a la carte. I've done group rates where they told me exactly how many people they were going to have, the amount they were able to spend, and we work around that. We work with the community. We make sure everyone can afford what they need when they need it.
Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. Now it says we promise a taste of soul in every bite. So is it silly for me to say like you specialize in a way of soul food? You know?
No, that means I put love into every dish I create, and that's the taste of soul in every bite.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the things that you like to make?
Number one request is banana pudding cake.
That's with the vanilla wafers in it?
That's when I take the crushed vanilla wafers and mix it up into a cake mix instead of just making banana pudding.
Oh, this made me hungry. Yeah, and I got these plates here too, buddy. Yeah. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Oh, yeah, your boy's going to be eating good for a minute. Yeah. Thank you for the plates, though. I appreciate that. Humble beginnings. Tell me where this all started. Where did your inspiration for wanting to do something like this came from?
Always been the one to cook in the family. I've always been the one that they call for assistance, or if they just needed somebody to do it for them, I'm the one they called in the family. Funny story, worked at a fast food restaurant for the first time in my life.
Do you want to shout out that fast food place?
Wendy's, you cool, but not for me. But working there gave me the drive that if I'm going to work in the food industry, the goal was to eventually work for myself.
Right.
So I left that job and immediately went and signed up for culinary school.
Culinary school, okay.
So went to West Virginia Northern, big ups. Because there I was able to become a certified butcher, pastryere.
Oh, hold on. Let me, yeah, before you go on, this woman right here is a pastryere. I never knew what a pastryere was until today. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the hungry hustler. I should know about foods. I should know about like the exclusive snacks that come out early. You know what I'm saying? I should be knowing about things like that. But I didn't know nothing about no pastryere. I knew of a concierge, but she is a chocolate concierge, right? An ice sculptor, a butcher, certified
butcher.
Certified butcher. Can cut up the meat the right way, chop it up, know what types of meat is what. You know what I'm saying?
Butcher is more than cutting meat. You also got to know them crustaceans, the different seafoods, how to open them, how to clean them, how to take them from live status to the table. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, to get the title of a butcher. Now, just kind of steering off from that for a second, I read this article just recently that was saying like up in Anchorage, they had this article that said the Alaskan crab is in a major shortage, and they're like accounting for like 1 billion Alaskan crab that is just missing and unaccounted for. Like they're not pulling them out the water like they normally do. So they're just like stopping the fishing.
So you know how people say global warming isn't real? Global warming makes the seafood migrate to other parts of the ocean when those temperatures change up.
So now those Alaskan crab are now Beijing crab?
It's a little warmer in Alaska than it's normally is. So they probably went closer up into the Amsterdam area. Like they'll stay where they need to go to stay alive.
Right.
Which means some areas that are used to having certain things might not have anymore.
Okay. So the fact that there's 1 billion Alaskan crab that are missing from...
They could have migrated.
Yeah.
Then you got overindulgence with us as people. We're butchering and hunting in all the same services instead of everywhere.
I see.
So you got more than 10 people hunting in the same place. It's going to be harder to pull out produce from that.
But I'm saying though, like Alaskan crab, you're saying they migrate, and would that warrant a name change to them if they just say went to Japan? Would they just be called Japanese crab then?
Now I don't know what they want to be called when they migrate, but it's like that's why they're leaving their normal habitats.
Yeah.
With all these storms hitting our southern coast, it makes the northern coast warmer.
Okay.
So just along with the cod, you normally get a lot of good cod and salmon up by Niagara Falls on the New York side.
Okay.
Well, water's shifting and changing with this global warming shifting and changing. So now you got to go closer to the Canadian side to get what you're used to getting right there off of Buffalo.
I see. Do you think the oil spills and like Fukushima...
All that plays a part.
All that played a part?
All that plays a part.
Because it was like so quickly forgotten about, those world disasters.
Contaminations.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that plays a part.
Yeah. But back to your credentials and the West Virginia School of Culinary Arts, right?
Went to West Virginia Northern for culinary.
Okay. Ta-da. Go on more about that. Being a pastryere, butcher. What's that other thing? A sommelier?
Sommelier. I'm certified to pour wines as well as pair your foods with the wine.
Oh, so that means that they be having a little thing like this. They be like, yeah.
Yes, they get. Yes, there's a reason why they get paid to sit there and look sedated. Yes.
Yeah, let me pour you some of this fine.
Mm-hmm. There's a certain way you have to pour it. Everything. Yeah.
What's your favorite wine?
I like a red. I like red sweets, so I go into trying different kinds. I like family wines more than chain name wines.
Okay.
Because the family wines give you more of that essence of that sweet and bitter bite together.
Yeah, I think that's because they really be putting their foot in it.
Hey, whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, they really be putting their foot in it. Now, with red wine, it's supposed to be warm, right? Or chilled, slightly chilled?
Slightly chilled. You should never have ice in wine.
Okay. Never have ice in red wine.
Any wine.
Any wine. No ice in wine?
That's why they sit it on ice buckets for hours before serving, and it's chilled, but it's not watered down.
Okay. They had me serving wine when I worked at the Olive Garden, but we didn't do all the fancy, like, the shirts and the pours like this. And I seen some people do it like that, you know what I mean? And it was all good. I just figured it was for show. I didn't know that was like the actual, like, what they taught you how to.
Yeah, you're taught to roll your wrist a certain way when you pour.
What?
The arm is to tip the bottle without actually showing the restraint on the hand while pouring.
Oh, okay. So we got sommelier, that's for the wine. Pastries, and you said that banana pudding. What was that?
Banana pudding cake.
Banana pudding cake. Yeah. Now that's the conversation we was having right before the pod started. I was like, what's the difference between custard, a banana cream pie and a banana custard pie? And you was telling me about custard not being able to be warmed.
There's a lot of custards that don't take heat, so they're piped into that pastry after the pastry is baked.
Like Bavarian cream?
Yeah, or eclairs. The cream is piped into that.
Oh, so that makes it a custard when you pipe it in there.
Yes, and then you got your creams that you make homemade puddings, which is actually called potage.
Potage. Not to be confused with protege, but potage. Yeah, go ahead. The crowd, don't mind the crowd. They find everything funny. A lot of them be smoking before they start the show, so you know what I'm saying. But yeah, go on.
There's a process. When you make that homemade pudding, let it chill.
Mm-hmm.
I make a homemade whipped topping and fold that into the pudding.
Yeah.
Then I'll take some cream cake icing.
Okay.
And fold that in for thickness, so the pudding doesn't run or move on me.
Okay. So as you can see here in the background, we got the business card up. VeeLaSoul Catering and Food Consultations. Consultations. So you may not necessarily provide the meal, but you can also suggest or advise people to what they may want to do for their event. How many people you just serve 1,000 people if you want?
I worked for the military 9/11 Air Base at one point. I was the only certified chef they had on staff.
Okay.
And we fed up to 5,000 breakfast and lunch. So, you get good with the numbers. You get good with being able to manage a crowd as well as feed a crowd at the same time. Being the only certified cook there, my supervisor at hand would challenge me and hand me 10, 11 recipes, but like, I need these done by 10:30 lunch service. It's 5 in the morning, and I still got to work the breakfast line. But we would make it happen.
Yeah, as you should. Man, she's getting an abundance of tat-outs today, spitting that knowledge. I'm with my main woman, V, of VeeLaSoul's Catering and Food Consultations on Heavy as the Crowd. Thank all y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. The bell notification's most important, because that lets you know when we go live. Of course, you can see these broadcasts afterwards, but, it's always good to get in where you fit in during the live, ice sculptures. The ice sculptures. I don't know nothing about it. Now, see, I went to a party one time out at the campgrounds, and they had someone make an ice sculpture that was like a long water slide, and they have all the liquor sitting at the top of it, and they would like pour the shots of liquor down the ice sculpture, and you'd catch
You
it.
can do a lot with ice sculptures.
Yeah, tell me some of the interesting things that you've had to do with ice.
I dabbled. They always say like doing stuff like people's names, letters is the hardest. And when you tell me stuff like that, I'm hard headed. So first thing I did was my initials, VLP, in ice.
Yeah.
So once I mastered my initials and knew I can do that, it made it easier to do swans and stuff with we call it pineapple top.
Okay.
It looks like the top of the pineapple tree.
Okay.
And then you put other different designs in underneath it.
Okay.
And make it all stand out. Like, just...
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and you need to be in a very cold room.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, yeah. It's going to melt. Yeah. You remember the ice plant that was up there at Skateland? I never got to indulge in any of that, getting some of the ice out of there. I heard that people used to be able to reach in the door and grab bags of ice and pull them out and such like that.
Yeah.
Out of all these things that you've been able to accomplish and certified in, we got pastrier, butcher, sommelier. Am I saying that right?
Sommelier, yes.
Ice sculptor, chocolate concierge. What's probably the most difficult out of all of those?
Probably the chocolates, because you can't control the temperatures as much as you would like to. So you don't pour in a certain time. You don't mold it in a certain... If your room is too hot, you can make it sweat, and that destroys a chocolate mold.
Yeah. So you're making like hard, like chocolate Easter bunnies, basically.
I can do bunnies. We've made homemade Reese cups in the shape of roses, hearts. I can make a gift box.
Yeah.
And you could put like little trinkets. I've known somebody that ordered a gift box from me to propose to their wife. So they, put the ring down inside it. It's big enough to take the whole ring box in it.
Okay, yeah.
And then later on, when you're done with it, that's something you just wrap it in saran wrap and throw it in the freezer or in a Ziploc bag. And then you bust it up, and throughout the year, take chunks of that chocolate and make you homemade chocolate. Make it for the kids on the weekend.
Yeah, I've seen those things that are like bath bombs that you could put and make hot chocolate with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You warm the milk up and drop the hot.
And you could do the same with this box.
Interesting. Now, the one thing that you had mentioned prior to the pod starting was someone... or many people, for that matter, requesting your top shelf chili. Tell me a little bit about that.
Top shelf chili. We decided one day we were sick of eating just regular old steak. So I took ribeye steak and ground sirloin and made that the base of my chili. And it's just ended up being a hit. Like, that's something the family requests. My daughter had a graduation party and requested top shelf chili on a hot dog line. So everybody was loading JoJo's or hot dogs, whatever they wanted off that line. With that top shelf chili, it just works perfect. Yeah.
Now, the last episode I had with Reem, Sponge, and Urban Green, shout out to them guys. Urban Green was talking about some of the roadblocks and the speed bumps and the potholes that you have to go through in order to be a legit business and being able to serve the community. And he was saying like, oh yeah, you need to, like, you can have a food service or whatever, but then like if you want to be a caterer, you got to pay an extra little $800 on top of things to get a permit to serve in Jefferson County or whatever county for that matter. Why don't you speak about some of the little adversities that you had to go through to make yourself all the way legit, things that people don't know about?
Coming from culinary school, we're already like trained in management, so there's a lot of those little fees and situations I knew about. I'm aware of. I was already on the game. I came into this with a Safe Serve certification. I came into this with a food handler's card, and then come to find out Ohio don't even require food handlers. But I trained in West Virginia. And West Virginia made us get what the federal statute expects. So I was able to carry my stuff over to Ohio because it's more detailed than what Ohio is actually requiring.
Okay.
I'm now in the process of switching things over, so I said I'm just going to take their person in training, PIC class, and do it over again because nothing's wrong with being updated.
Oh, yeah, nothing's wrong with refreshing your skills.
So that wasn't an issue for me. The issue for me is the prep kitchen.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in this area you can use as a prep kitchen. When you start trying to create your own, the city tells you, oh, well, you're not allowed to have it on this block, or you can't have it on that block. And some of the excuses they're using really don't work for me.
Yeah.
So I'm being told I can't develop a business on the block I live on.
Because there's no commercial zoning?
Yeah, it says residential. But if the last 2 buildings you tore down were just business, and there's a barber shop down my street, there's a lawn care business on the next street over, how is my neighborhood strictly residential?
Yeah.
So those are things I'm trying to work on and work out and getting through it here and there. I'm doing small gigs like the November 5th, I'll be at the craft show at Aquinas Elementary School.
Okay.
Selling drop cake cobblers and cheesecakes.
Okay.
I have some Oreo cheesecakes, golden Oreo and original.
Okay.
I have some cheesecakes that are topped with sweet potato pie. And then I'm going to have drop cake cobblers. So everything will be a fruit cobbler at the base with a drop cake topping.
Okay.
So I got apple, peach, rhubarb, and blueberry.
What? I know I'm in my 40s and I should probably have knowledge about this, but what the heck is a rhubarb?
Rhubarb is actually...
I think the only thing I ever heard that in was that White Man Can't Jump. They said something about rhubarb in that. Or no, that was quince.
Okay.
That was quince. Go ahead. What's a rhubarb?
Most people that don't have knowledge of rhubarb see it in Kroger's and say, oh, that's that red celery. It looks like a root like celery, and it's red, but it's rhubarb. It's like a bitter bite root. And they give you the nutrients that beets and radishes and stuff will give you.
Okay, you could put that in a dessert?
See, I do. Yes, you can. There's a lot of people that do, but I'd mix it a little different.
That's like putting raisins in your doggone green bean casserole.
No, we don't do nothing like that. That's a little too far for me.
Yeah.
But no, I take the rhubarb, toss it with applesauce and fresh cut strawberries and bake it like that. And it gives it a better essence. Where you get that bitter bite and that sweet all at the same time.
That is nice. Very nice. What's your 3 top dishes? In your opinion? What's the ones that you like to make the most?
I love making homemade red sauce.
Homemade red sauce.
Yes. So I'll sit and make a marinara sauce just because I was bored for that day and freeze it. I love making marinara sauce. It's just something about sweating all those vegetables and blending them down. I got a hand blend emulsifier where I blend everything down nice and smooth. And I could take it and freeze it when I'm ready to use it later. Then I'll add like the tomato paste or the sauce and the meat, whatever I'm incorporating with it later on.
So we got red sauce.
My kids request the Alfredo often. Homemade Alfredo sauce. They love it.
Okay.
I don't know that. I'm a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
So you could come to me and say, oh, I haven't had in a long time. I was like, oh, okay, well, let me do that for you.
Yeah.
And let me see if I could wiggle it to really make you not put it on the back burner again.
Yeah.
So, that's just how like today I brought you chicken and waffles.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to keep it typical, so I had to take some turkey cornbread stuffing and put it in the waffle iron and fry it up for you perfect. And I took a chicken breast for the sandwich of that, and we made a sandwich out of that.
Ooh.
So now you got your chicken and waffles, and then you got your chicken and dressing sandwich.
Here's one set of the waffles, y'all. Here's one set. Got the waffles on dessert. Yeah, that deserves a shout out. But yeah, go on.
So I don't really have specialties of my own because I'm willing to cook anything. And I wasn't always like this. This comes from a teacher at school challenging me.
Okay. You want to shout out that teacher right now, or shout out anybody along the way that's helped you get to this point?
Well, we always got to say with big ups to Miss G, Miss Gruber. She was one of my chef teachers at West Virginia Northern. Big ups to Chef Chris and Chef Jean. Without the three of them, I probably wouldn't be the chef I am right now. They truly challenged me.
Yeah. I'm trying not to eat right now, but go ahead.
But, we just, Chef G would like give me desserts that would take 8 or 9 different recipes to make this one dessert.
Yeah.
So, we make it all work out.
Do you see that, y'all? I don't mean to be like booting her out the thing. Let me see it
Oh,
again.
no, you're good. Show your food. Show your food. That's homemade cranberry sauce in that cup.
Homemade cranberry sauce. What's one of the oddest dishes that you ever had to make for anybody? What was one of the oddest requests that you ever got?
It was probably when I had to test out a pastry class. She gave me this recipe that looked like a book. And I'm like, okay, this ain't a recipe. This is a book. So which one am I making?
Yeah.
She said, read it. When I started reading, I realized it's 8 different sponge cakes, a caramel filling, as well as a caramel icing and poached pears to make this one dessert.
Yeah.
And it was like a challenge. That was the first time cooking ever made me cry.
Make it sponge cake?
I broke down in tears with 8 different sponge cakes. If you got 3 Japanese sponge cakes and 3 Australian sponge cakes, it was just overbearing for me.
Yeah.
The little black girl that had never knew that there was more than one type of sponge cake. Now I'm making all of this.
Yeah.
So, I'm telling them, like, I'm going to flunk my test. I'm crying. I flipped out straight.
Oh, it was for a
meltdown.
test.
She gave me this for a test.
Okay.
I had a meltdown. But in the end, I was so proud of this cake. They sold it. It was a personal cake, maybe enough to feed 4 people. They sold it for $150.
What?
Because they were able to auction it off.
Auctioning off your foods? That's an awful great achievement right there.
That cake made me so proud. That's the cake featured on my website today.
Okay. And the website, yeah, I got a QR code that I'm going to bring up here momentarily that maybe if you guys try to scan it, I think you'll be able to even do it while you're watching this right now. I'm going to bring up a QR scan and you could just hold your phone up to it and it'll take you straight to her website. But I mean, obviously, if that doesn't work for you, you can just type in VeeLaSoul Catering and Food Consultations. And I'm pretty sure it'll take you directly to where you need to go in order to contact her to get some of these delectable vittles. Yes.
Yeah, the card right there take you straight to my email address, and I'm taking any orders via email. The website is also linked to my email address.
Okay.
So anything you do on my website, even if it says chat now, you ask a question, it just email me immediately that question.
Oh, okay.
So I have everything linked up to get me all in one place.
Okay, that's what's up. When I get you on a good rant of things, I'm gonna mess around and try to bring that QR code up. Whatever, be multitasking and stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you're
Do what you got to, whatever.
yeah. You know the thing about it is, what I like to have people on for primarily is to talk about their passions. You know what I'm saying? And food is definitely a passionate thing I can see that you got going on. And I really truly feel like, we're all caught up in this rumble bumble of 9 to 5s, having to work just to pay our bills and get by. But it's also important for us to follow our passions because it keeps us on a higher frequency. When we're not able to create or provide some sort of, our art, in a way, then we all have, we all have hip hop in our soul, no matter what ethnicity you are.
Kind, yes,
we all got some sort of beat to the drum, as you would say. And, we're all passionate about something. Now, sometimes we're not good at what we're passionate at, but that doesn't mean that we need to stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? But trying to stay on a high frequency. I was speaking with you prior to the pod saying how, it's up to our generation to grab that torch and be at the forefront of trying to learn people, you know what I'm saying, and setting a good example and just try to provide, good stuff for people to be proud of and want to be a part of.
And I feel like we really need to stand on the phrase, reach one, teach one. But while you're teaching them, be willing to stop and learn from them as well.
Right. Right.
It'll get us all so much further.
Yeah. This stuff that I'm doing here at Heavy as the Crowd, it's, stuff that I just put together myself. I've watched other people do some things. I watch YouTube and other people's podcasts. And, I know I'm no Joe Budden or no Joe Rogan or no, I'm just your average Joe, But I'm passionate about being able to find a way to give back to the community and provide something that other people can utilize. You know what I mean? And in part, that's why we're here. I've seen you do your thing for a long time in this area, and I had never been able to stop and give you the flowers that you deserve. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you for sharing your platform with me today.
Oh, easily done.
That way we both can reach a little bit more people.
Absolutely. The synergy, the cross-pollination.
Yes.
I definitely encourage you guys, because I've been eating her food for a while, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to vouch for it. I've never had catering service by you, but hopefully here in the future, I can hold some events where I can get you to be a part of that. And if anybody else out there wants to, have her services, reach out. Everything is in the description.
That's the banana pudding cake cupped up for a job.
Oh, my gosh, we got to put that on the camera over there. We haven't seen that. It's not going to. But you could go to the website. It's on the website, right? Yeah. It's fire. It's fire. So just take the floor for a minute and tell the crowd, because Heavy is the crowd. And why don't you talk about some of the emerging trends that you've noticed in event catering since you've been a part of this? But two-part. Some of the emerging trends that you've seen as of recent when it comes to catering, and when was this business established?
Okay, let's start with business was established. It's been a business in my head all my life, but technically my LLC is official November of 2022. I'm sorry, October of 2022. Okay. And I started really stepping my game up. And I just gave you the wrong date. I'm sorry. See, this is when you're too busy doing too much.
Yeah.
October 21.
October.
As my LLC was official.
Okay.
And since then, I've done a couple wedding parties, couple bridal showers, baby showers. I've been able to be called at the last minute. One chick planned a wedding in 30 days, couldn't find a caterer.
Yeah.
Called me up, was like, I just need finger foods and we're out on the farm. What can you do?
Yeah.
We worked it out.
Yeah.
She told me her budget and the amount of people there. I gave her a list of what I can do 2 weeks prior. She okayed it. We went with it.
Okay, that's what's up. Now the emerging trends. What are things that you've seen?
And let's see. They're bringing flares back into cooking. Flares like tableside cooking when you flambe a steak and make steak Diane right there at tableside. See, a lot of people don't realize when you flambe a steak right there, tableside, that is called steak Diane.
Steak who?
Diane. Steak
Diane.
Yes. I don't know why she got her name tagged on it, but that is what that is called. And you're pretty much making a sauce and a seared steak right there on point, on flame for the customer.
Steak Diane. I'm about to tell him that. I'm like, how you want your steak? I want it Diane. Dirty Diana. Oh. Dirty Diana. Oh, yeah, I'm clowning. But go ahead.
Then, just more of entertainment in the cooking is around now. So, to display it better so you can see everything around. More people are displaying their food on a broader scale. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
People want more entertainment that comes with their food.
That come with their food nowadays. Yeah.
Now, can you do what them hibachi people do? Chop the stuff up and toss an egg on the spatula and do all that kind of stuff? Can you do that?
I could do a little bit of that. I just try not to be that messy with my food.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I could do a little bit of that. I'm certified to roll sushi as well.
To roll sushi.
Yes, I roll sushi. I've done. I had to do all that at school.
Man, I enjoy the seaweed that is around the sushi. I like eating them just by like the papers by themselves.
Yeah, we call them seaweed chips because when you get it before you soak it, it's hard like a chip.
Okay.
Then you can soak it in vinegar water, and that softens it enough to be rolled up.
Okay, yeah, I just eat them like chips. I just eat them like chips. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I do it. Humble beginnings. You know, we all come from an area where it's tough to get off the ground with business ventures. And like you had said, you know, where you're located at, there's not much commercial zoning. Like Urban Green was saying, you know, Iggy's was tore down, and they changed that zone. And you know, he's got the last commercial zone up on Pleasant Heights where Fox's is. And you know, he's just like, man, the difficulties in trying to get started, and then them throwing that in your face like, oh, well, this is residential. And you were just saying earlier, like, trying to find a venue that you can use for a commercial zoning. So catering out your house, you can do that, but or can't you? Give me more about the understanding of catering.
You really cannot do catering out your house. I'm fortunate that I work for a hotel that has a full kitchen, and some of my jobs I can do there, but I can only do the jobs that I schedule in West Virginia there.
Okay. And you were saying you don't need a, what was that, a vendor's license or something, a food service vendor's license in Ohio when you're coming from West Virginia?
No, I have a Safe Serve. Safe Serve is a federal approval for food service.
Okay.
So I didn't have to come straight in and get that certification in Ohio right away.
Okay.
I'm working on that now because I chose to take the class in Ohio. I could just hand them my scores from Safe Serve and switch all my paperwork over.
Okay.
But because I'm on higher education and I don't want to bring someone in, if I get big enough to have people working under me, I don't want to bring them in and have them going off of a test that I didn't even see in this state. So I'd rather take that test.
Yeah.
And be aware of exactly what the state is requiring, how and why.
Yeah.
And then I'll go from there.
Okay.
So to me, it's just the higher education is more of a plus and a CYA for me.
CYA.
Cover your ass.
Oh, boy. I like that.
So, you know, everything I do, I dot my I's, cross my T's, and I CYA.
Okay, CYA. Let me write that down because I'm going to have to take that with me. You know what I'm saying? CYA. CYA. Heavy is the crowd, y'all. I want to thank all y'all for tuning in.
Because right now, I could use the St. Florian and Wintersville for jobs I'm doing locally. It's not a permanent stay for me.
Okay.
So I need to find a kitchen that's a permanent stay.
Yeah.
And I can have the health department come in and check this kitchen out, make sure it's all up to par, and give me my certification for prepping in that kitchen. So, you know, I can only do small things as of now. If I do like a catering gig for someone and they have a kitchen on where they want me to cater at, that's allowed.
Okay,
I can go
all
into
right.
that kitchen because everything I'm prepping is staying right
So
there.
they're having there's a wedding, and then you're having a reception, and then at that reception there's those big
that
sinks and
reception hall
everything.
has a kitchen. I can go in there and prep everything and be the caterer for that.
Okay.
But to be making food one place and taking it to another, it has to be at a certified prep kitchen.
Prep kitchen. What's a couple important tools that every caterer needs with them when they're creating?
Don't bring your personal life to work with you.
Your personal what?
Personal life.
Personal life.
No
okay.
matter what's going on with you personally,
Yeah.
that job cannot see that.
Yeah.
Because that food vendor is what everybody's paying attention to. So if you're wearing your problems on your face, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And it puts stain on the opportunity of getting more jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well as getting a call back from that job.
Man, that gravitates with me so heavy when you say that, because other people talking about other ventures that I've had on my show spoke similar sentences to that. And even myself, it's like, you come to this podcast. I come to this podcast and I try to provide, creative content for the crowd. And it's like people don't understand all the fuckery we got to deal with in our lives.
There's a lot of hoopla, but some of that, 90% of that hoopla, once you step onto a paid job, that got to stay at the door.
Yeah.
No matter how you feel.
Yeah.
I got things going on right now. You know what I did? I turned off the volume to my phone and I gave you all my attention. That hoopla has to wait.
Yeah.
That means there's a time and a place for everything.
I agree. And on the pod that I had with Maurice Bogard, shout out to Mobo, part 2's coming soon. He was saying that he was like, man, one of the things he was telling me off air was like, yeah, man, because when we, as a community, when certain things are going on with certain people in certain sectors, we catch wind of certain things pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I know about some of the things that you've been through, what some of the things you're going through, not like I'm all up in your business or whatever, but, it's a small city. And he's like, he accredited me for being able to come to the show and just putting all that hoopla that you got to deal with outside of the show aside and making sure you're focused on your craft. And the term that he used was Tuscan leather. He was like, when you're on camera, man, you really give a feeling of Tuscan leather. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you come on this show and don't nobody know the shit that you be going through off air. Like, for one, in your life in general, and two, just to make shows like this happen. Because, you can get the runaround from a lot of people when you're trying to chase goals that you want other people to be a part of. And, you're in this business with yourself. You're the CEO, president, vice president, all that stuff. And you said you want to get some more employees to work under you eventually.
Yeah, I mean, that's making your goals work. As long as my goals work the way I'm pushing for them, yes, I'm going to need more employees. I plan on running a food truck. I plan on getting a county license in 2 different counties in Pennsylvania once I get the truck up and running. That pushes for me to get a second truck. Now I need somebody to work here while I'm working there.
Right.
That's my eventuals.
Yeah.
My end game is to get a building, and not only it be my prep kitchen for my truck, I can open up every Sunday and sell for Soul Food Sundays, cafeteria stuff. And then that's also a building that the public can rent throughout the week.
Now tell me something. When you make greens, what greens do you use?
I normally use collards.
Okay, good. Because I'm not a big fan of turnip or mustard, but sometimes you can get away with mixing a little bit of them in with the collard greens. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I mean, I dabble with kale greens, but I use kale for different things. Like, I just did an event where I did crostinis, where I took
crostinis,
kale, and I pan-seared it, added roasted squash to it, and a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and topped it on top of little pieces of toast. That's a crostini.
Not to be confused with no type of panini or nothing like that.
No.
I love the approach that a lot of us are taking, especially you yourself and other people such as Urban Green, and there's other mentionables out there, how, we were speaking about businesses in the area and how, right across the river there, they got that plaza that's booming, and they got a nice eateries there, a bunch of eateries, yogurt shop, a steakhouse, things of that sort. And I enjoy, I didn't see it at first, but I'm kind of liking where things are going with the community itself around here, where we're getting back to the mom and pops. We're getting back to like the people making these mom and pop eateries.
But this is a community that Naples ain't a chain name. Naples was created off of mom and pop.
Okay.
The Carlos is a mom and pop. This is what we come from. And we need more of us keeping that spirit alive.
Absolutely, I agree. Because
the city is having fun with every building that closes. they tearing it down and rezoning that neighborhood so you can't bring it back.
And Franciscan's taking over a lot of the properties too.
Hence why I decided to buy the property around the house I sit in.
And then there's going to be that whole new battle of trying to get a piece of that zoned to commercial. So you can maybe...
That's what I'm battling on right now. I'm talking to a couple other landowners, and we're working together to see what we can do, and just want to do it sustainably.
Yeah, you was talking about you wanted to... now, guys and gals, in the description below, her information is there. Her Cash App, her email, the business cards right there on the screen. Moments from now, I'm going to put the QR up on the screen just to see if you guys got a second and you're watching, just to see if it works. You know what I'm saying, on the screen. I tried it and it worked, so you can just try it for you guys so you can get directly to her site. You take the phone and you just hold it up. You just hold it up to the joint and it, you know, you get the QR and go straight to her site. Yeah, the mom and pops. I really like that. You know, it's really giving a more homely. Is it homely? Yeah, but a more intimate feel when you come to the city, because they're like, oh, well, where's the spots to eat? Well, you know, go check out V's because we got this going on, or go check out Urban Green up at the mall because we got this going on. You know, you got to love where you live.
And you look back on Steubenville's past, even our grocery stores, the Prestos, those are all mom and pop shops, and we need to bring them back.
I agree. That gets a. Let's see here. So we went over the basic little 5 questions that I wanted to go over. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take the floor and take the conversation somewhere where I put this QR code up to keep me from reaching in these styrofoams so quick, because you know what I'm saying, I'm going to end up eating some of this.
Telling you, that's that taste of soul in everybody that's calling you, ain't it?
Give shout outs to people, whoever you want to say. Let me see if I can get this QR
code up there. Yeah. I need to give a shout out to my family. My kids, thank you. My husband, thank you. You guys became my health care, my saver. You keep me alive. Thank you for everything. I've been through a lot these last couple of years, and it's meant a lot to me that you guys have had my back. This business would not be where it's at right now without the 3 of you having my back.
Y'all get a... Some of those struggles that we had to go through with the pandemic. Now, you LLC'd your stuff during the pandemic.
I LLC'd my business while on bed rest from major surgery.
Man, that's awful deep. Is anything more you want to go into about that, or, you know? Talk about what you want to talk about. Take the conversation somewhere. I'm trying to get
prayer, I'm here today. Suffer from diverticulitis. Diverticulitis turned into something extremely more serious than that. I've had 4 major surgeries in the last 3 years. So like I said, my kids became my health care. They became my backboard. Because of them, I'm here today. Because of prayer, I'm here today. A lot of people, I appreciate everyone who asked me what I needed, when I needed it. But I meant it when I told you in return, pray for me. Prayer is what got me here today.
Yeah, man, leaning heavy on your faith.
Yes.
You know, and that's always a good thing that first and foremost we all need to do when we start, you know, any type of passionate venture, you know, leaning heavy on your faith, no matter who you believe in. You know what I mean?
I even reached out to multiple faiths. I grew up Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
I'm still a Seventh-day Adventist. But my husband listens to Pastor Barner at Second Baptist.
Okay.
Indulging in both made me see a lot more than I might have kept myself blind to. All what was me and worried about my health. So listening to both of those pastors at both 2 different denomination churches really opened up doors for me to think about things better, different.
In a kinder heart.
In a kinder heart.
We're both Steubenville alumni, you know. they didn't offer. We had home ec in school, you know. We had drafting in school. We had what do you think? Do you think that it would benefit this area to have a culinary school or a culinary class that was just more than home ec in Steubenville Big Rig? Because obviously, you know, these trades and this skill that you have didn't come from, you know, something you learned in school in the beginning. I mean, you went to further your education there.
Yeah, that's coming from that farm to table, eating vegetarian for the first 9 years of my life.
Wow, vegetarian for the first?
Told you I grew up Seventh-day Adventist. We don't eat meat in that church. So
Okay.
the first 7 years of my life, my grandmother made it possible for that to work the way it worked.
Yeah.
She brought our lunches to school, everything, you know. I would say I just got pushed into this new avenue. Like I said, I'm having issues finding a prep kitchen. And I felt like if I got to create it myself, maybe I'll do something where I could do cooking classes.
Ah, we got it.
Call it, set it up as a date night. And you could bring your mate in for a cooking class and cook a dinner for two together with guidance from a chef.
Okay.
So I'm looking into different avenues to make that possible and work all at the same time.
And we're thankful for every bit of whatever you guys can do to help with the situation. You know, we're chasing goals. I mean, their dreams were turning into reality here at Heavy is the Crowd. And as you guys can see up on the screen, we got the QR code up. You guys, if you got a second, you know, turn your phone on. If you got a recent phone, smartphone, go ahead and check it out and see if it works at all. You know, I think it works for me. I'm gonna give it a shot real quick. But yeah, you know, to hear that you come from that, you know, having to deal with those adversities and battling health issues and such, and, you know, still wanting to do good and still want, because a lot of times when we get sick or our frequency is low, you know, we steer away from other people and we close ourselves in and we just don't want to be bothered and we turn into a mean, nasty, old fuddy-duddy.
I did that to a certain degree, but while I was doing that, I was working on something bigger than me.
Right.
So that's what I used that for. Instead of just shutting myself off from the world, no, I shut myself off so I can get something done to make it a bigger.
Oh, you might not be able to see it on the phone. Yeah, it's not. But it loads. So you guys can hit that QR right now and go straight to her website and begin chatting with her, you know, about whatever your needs are when it comes to the foods and the pastries and butchering. And so somebody could bring you a whole half a cow and you chop it up the right way for them?
Yeah. Pull out your roast, your ribs.
Man. I love to talk about food. I love to talk about food. Yeah.
Fell in love with my knife sets. And
Yeah, your knife sets. That's your pride.
I keep a knife set everywhere. I have one in my truck from when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my daughter said, "Don't do that." And then next thing you know, people start saying, "Oh, you got your knives? I need these chickens cut up." Like helping out. I volunteer to help out with a lot of local funerals because I'm not really one that could sit in a funeral.
Yeah.
But I do wish to help out with the family.
Absolutely.
So I go volunteer where they're serving the food at.
What is one of the most now, mind you, we're of age where we've seen a lot of people come and go, but over the pandemic, what was one life that was lost that really hit home for you?
During the pandemic,
we'll just say from 2020 till present. I mean, the pandemic's over, I guess.
There were so many of them, though.
I know. Well, maybe you give a couple. Give a, you know what I'm saying, a couple
without
RIPs.
even naming names, I lost quite a few of my childhood friends.
Okay.
During the pandemic. And it was crazy to me to be sick that whole pandemic, and COVID wasn't one of them.
Wow.
So that was the craziest to me. Recently losing my aunt Darlene, that hurt. That she was the one, like, no matter what was going on, no matter what she was doing in her life, She would stop everything when she seen you, come kiss you on your face, leave all kinds of red. She was the red lipstick lady.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
everybody has that one auntie that leave the mark behind that she was there.
Yeah.
That was Aunt Darlene, so that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah.
I'm still processing that.
Yeah.
So
Besides the people that necessarily helped you along your way, what person inspired you to be, you know, a culinary catering concierge?
I would say my mom being legally blind.
Ah, yeah,
And
we was talking.
cooking as much as she did. Like, she would cook for card parties, cook for her friends. She sold dinners to the guys that worked on the garbage truck when I was a kid. Like, she stayed busy in the kitchen.
And you was telling me about how you would try to trick her with the
Switch up her
spices.
seasonings, and she'd be like,
Go
"Oh
ahead.
no, that's not what I asked you for. Quit handing me the wrong thing." She would treat us like we was the ones that couldn't see because we
Yeah.
kept in. Like, I love that, missed that. And right before she passed, I knew she was sick. I knew she was dying. I kept saying, "Mom, what am I going to do?"
Yeah,
She said, "We're going to do like we're supposed to do."
yeah.
She said, "You always been cooking. You wanted to go to school for cooking. Go."
Mm-hmm.
Started culinary school.
Yeah.
She stayed alive while I made it through all my book classes.
That's
the
dope.
day I started kitchen classes, she passed. So I had the dilemma: do I quit? Do I pull back? What do I do? But I kept hearing her say, "You better not. You better not."
Yeah.
So I took that week I needed to gather my thoughts, deal with my family, get everybody on the page. I felt like they needed to be on because we all missed her differently.
Right.
We all had a bond and a love with her in our own way. She made sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, did as much as I can being the monarch that was left behind. But also, I couldn't stop because now I got all these kids that admired her.
And you're the closest thing to her.
I'm
Like,
the
you're
closest thing to her, and I got to push to show them that I can get past it.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of pushing my grieving behind to be strong for them.
Mm.
So lately, my grieving's been me cooking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get to missing it real good. I go in the kitchen.
Yeah. What music do you like to listen to when you cook?
Old school soul.
Old school
Some
soul.
Spinners. I go back there. The Temptations. I listen to anything that make you wiggle.
Yeah.
Pop your fingers. If it got a two-step beat to it and it's before the 80s,
Yeah.
I'm 9 out of 10 I'm playing that.
Yeah. Do you still listen to R. Kelly?
Okay. I knew you was going to hit me with the singer.
Yeah, I be coming with the weirdest questions, bro.
Because I have a few playlists already made with his songs on there, I just didn't change.
Yeah.
I don't listen to them all the time, but when they come on, yeah, I pop my fingers. Those are songs that I made my kids with.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts. Facts.
Like everybody knows somebody that made a kid to an R. Kelly song. Like, it's hard to just straight erase him off the map.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I get into a discussion with a lot of people about that, just trying to separate the music from the person that he was.
What people don't realize, you just up and stop listening to him altogether. He's not the only artist you're not listening to then. He wrote for so many other people.
Right, right.
And you're not going to cut all that music off. I don't support what he did. I'm not sitting here saying I support what he did, but
Right.
in the same hand, I'm not going to change that aspect of me
Yeah, yeah,
because he messed up.
yeah. And now he's serving 30 of them things.
You get what you sow.
So, you mentioned knives. You got knife collections.
I have multiple knife sets. My husband is a good man. When I was in
Shout out
culinary
to him.
school, Terrence, I love you. But when I was in culinary school, every time we would change up semesters and I was certifying out of each field, he would buy me a new knife set. So I didn't have to start that new certification with something I had to go get sharpened and all that. I would just start anew.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was lucky. I have about 5 or 6 knife sets with the case and all.
Okay.
So I can travel with them and I don't have to disturb what's at the house to
Right.
do my jobs. I got a couple that's for my jobs and a couple that's for the house. They don't move.
So you got knife set. Now, earlier comes back to the question I was asking earlier. You got the knife set, and we're asking like 3 major tools that,
My steel, that keeps my blades straight.
Okay, so you got your doggone blades. You got your blade sharpener. What's another important tool that every caterer must have?
Scissors.
Scissors.
You got the kitchen shears. that they're strong enough to cut through bone. That is wonderful at the last minute, and you're doing all this stuff, moving stuff around. And
Yeah.
I was fortunate to have a wood cutting group make me display tables with my logo on front.
Okay.
So I do have
I didn't see no logo on here with all this. I seen the cars and
the logo's
QR.
on the website. I'm working in steps. I had the cards done before I had the logo complete, and
Okay.
we're working in steps, and we're bringing everything into one basket.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah. Without further ado, I need to eat some of this chicken. So why don't you just take the floor? Talk about something. Talk about something where I show them how delicious this food is. Yeah. Tell them about something. Oh, but first off, we got this. What is this? This is chicken.
That's homemade That's turkey dressing made into a waffle with a fried chicken breast in the center and homemade cranberry sauce. But since it's homemade, it's more tart than it is sweet, but it works perfect with that dressing.
Yeah. I'm fine with tart.
But please, everyone, come show love at the craft show. There are multiple businesses there. So I'm not the only business Denise is love. We have handmade crafts, food.
And where is this at again?
This is at Aquinas Elementary Gym on Lovers Lane, November 5th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please come, show up, show out, support. That's all we ask. There's a lot of local people. If you want to see what a lot of the local crafts and doodads and people doing stuff for hobbies in our local area, this is the place to be. Stop past here. Come see everybody. We got Delilah making chicken chili for the lunch up there. Show up, show out. We need all the support we can get. Please come.
Tune up, tune in. Heavy is the crowd, y'all. Yeah. That's when you're supposed to say the crowd is heavy.
Delilah and Helena have a youth group. They started off for girls. They're now helping girls and boys in his mother's grace. Please show them some support. If you do nothing else, donate leftover purses and new fingernail polish, anything for the girls to dally with. Donate stuff down there. You can go to the War Building on North Street. Donate to them whenever you can. Just trying to think what else I got going on here.
Yeah, it's no rush, you know what I'm saying? I'm eating. Go ahead, you take your time. There can be a couple moments of silence on here, you know what I'm saying? Them hearing me chew and shit.
To give you something to think about at the craft show, I will have cheesecake topped with sweet potato pie. I'll have some mini sweet potato pies. I'll have some apple cobbler. I'll have blueberry cobbler. There'll be rhubarb cobbler and peach cobbler. I'm going to do some cheesecakes with Oreos, golden as well as original. Please come see me.
Glory. Yeah, please come see her.
Come see me. You'll be surprised. My food speaks for itself.
Oh, yeah.
So when I say a taste of soul in every bite, the soul.
Y'all didn't see me dancing when it took that first bite, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you get the food in the microwave and you're letting it warm up, but this don't need warmed up. This is already good, hot and fresh. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that.
Yeah, I like to do make sure I deliver things accordingly. So if I'm doing something like fried chicken, it's either gonna get fried on the spot, or that'll be the last thing to be cooked, so it goes out the door fresh.
Make per order.
So just come see us. Go on my website. Just go on my website and say I seen it. Anything that shows that it's moving.
Yeah, and on top of that, you see us, we're looking up right now. It's like, because we got the screen, we got the main screen up top. So it's like when we're looking up, it's like we're looking at the screen that's looking at us that we're looking at. But on top of that, what she was saying, throw your girl a buck. Throw your boy a buck. The Cash App's in the description. Ain't nobody going to be offended if you send us $1.50. You know what I'm saying? Just send us something. Let us know that you respect what we doing. You got an extra $1 to help throw towards the cause. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to take the freaking $2 you give us and go out and buy some cigars or a tall can of Natty Ice. You know what I'm saying? We're putting this money right back into the game. You know what I'm saying? To make sure we bring y'all exclusive content, that key word. She's going to be using her stuff to put right back in the game for the catering. She's trying to get, you said a generator, solar-powered generator?
I'm gonna get it's electric powered and recharges by solar.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep everything we're energy sustainable. We don't want to add more carbons to the
Your carbon footprint.
we don't want to build it though. We want to get rid of that. So, I'm working differently. I don't have to worry about gasoline, and I've always had a faux pas about messing around with gas generators and trying to sell food, and if I can eliminate that factor.
Don't nobody want to smell diesel fuel burning right next to where the food's cooking.
Plus, an electric generator is more quiet. You don't have the noise pollution. Because if a lot of people just think about the gas and the carbon, you got to think about the noise pollution as well. And it sat there and got soft. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no, you good. This is good. It needs to be we good over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make sure the conversation stays good.
Okay.
You got a question you want to ask me or something? You talk about whatever you want.
Just trying to see.
You doing something special for Thanksgiving?
We just cook at the house. We were thinking about doing a Friendsgiving getting together. I'm still waiting to talk to Delilah. So if we change our mind about that, I will put up post on my website as well as my Facebook page. As of now, I'm just going to do my usual. But anybody, you're alone on Thanksgiving,
Hey,
come see me.
shout out to whoever that was that just subscribed. That little thing that popped up meant somebody subscribed while they're watching the show right now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, so shout out to y'all.
But if you're alone on Thanksgiving, I'm not that type of cook to leave anyone. You can be a total stranger. Come see me. Well, I will be making prime rib as well as fried turkey parts for Thanksgiving.
Oh, glory.
Well, like I said, my kids took care of me when I needed them to. So my daughter doesn't eat turkey or ham. So she will get, I usually buy a prime rib roast or something to that factor, and I put it in the smoker for her. Smoke it for about 6 hours, pull it out, cut it real thin, pan it up, and then I could put that in the refrigerator till I'm ready to heat everything up for dinner. That goes in there.
So we got knives. We got the thing to sharpen the knives. Did we go over the third tool that was important?
That's what was cooking shears.
Cooking shears. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, actually,
Always gotta have a pair of cooking shears with you.
Yeah, man.
They cut through just about anything, so it works.
Is there a brand name of anything that you like to use?
Nah, just sharp and good.
Just sharp and good. That's all I gotta do is sharp and good. Yeah, cut it out.
Yeah, but anything I got a request. I do dinners for two. You want an intimate night for you and your husband? Let me know. I might be able to even do the decor down to the tablecloth and the table setting. Call me. We can work that out. There's a couple other companies in Paramount Pursuits where we can get together. One girl does balloon arts. Another girl does decorating for intimate settings from anywhere from 1 to 30. I cook. Delilah cooks. We have Nikki that does desserts. Come see us.
So you'll serve 2 or you'll serve 200. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. As long as I have the ability. I also have to give a shout out and mad love to the Urban Underground Missionaries.
Shout out.
If it wasn't for them believing in me in June, I wouldn't have been able to jump on the multitude of other contracts I have gotten. They hired me.
In June? What happened in June?
And they have a training group every June for their new missionaries coming in. Off of word of mouth, I was hired to serve lunch and dinner for their training group in the month of June. And I also went through a major surgery during that month. My daughter came in and helped me work the program to make sure I kept everything to my word. That was a beautiful, lovely experience. I was asked to come back this June coming up. So we just want to keep that alive, and I want to give them their love and respect. Because it wasn't for the missionaries the year prior coming to my house just at random with my daughter to eat, I wouldn't have got the word of mouth to come this year.
Wow.
They were looking for somebody, and all the kids said, just call Mama V.
Yeah. That's dope.
The story behind the name of the company.
There you go.
V. Everyone in town knows me by V. So that was a given.
You making it easy for me.
La is 2 letters that happens to fall in everyone in my immediate family's name.
What, La?
La. All our middle names have a La in it or a first name.
Mm-hmm.
So VeeLaSoul is a way of me letting my kids and my grandkids know they have a part in my company at all times.
Mm.
I'm V, they're all the La, and we get together and make it a soul.
Mm. Man. So you mean tell me you can make a better Blizzard than Dairy Queen?
Yeah.
Mm.
I use fresher ingredients.
Okay.
I can make ice cream from scratch as well. So
Now, do you do it like they? I see them. They got the cold flat plate, and they scrape it up and then the rolls, and they put it in the cup. And
if I had the marble, I could do rolled ice cream as well. I just don't have the marble that they sit it on. That marble, it just does wonders. When you smear that ice cream on that marble, it gets cold a different way, so you scrape it right back out.
the Cash App is Chef V76. You know what I'm saying? That's CHEFVEE 76. You know what I'm saying? Throw a buck. Throw a buck.
I don't care if it's 50 cents.
Yeah, I don't know.
It take change to make $1.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. But can you send 50 cents over Cash App?
I'm just saying, it don't even matter to me. It don't even matter.
Yeah, just showing that, that's how you can show love. You know what I'm saying? Any little bit counts. It's going to a greater goal. He said she's worked with a lot of people around in the area, and we're looking to expand abroad because it's just not about, it is about community. It is about our city and about revitalizing that. But, when you come to Heavy as the Crowd, it's more than just the city. It's more than just the state. It's more than just national. Heavy as the Crowd is worldwide. So, if you're over in Egypt right now, you need catering, you know what I'm saying? For the right price, we work something out. We get something.
Yes, we can.
We'll send something to you. You know what I'm saying? Freeze dried, however we do it.
This chef will travel.
All right. What's some of your favorite artists? Music artists?
Erykah Badu, always got to give big ups to her. Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay.
Prince.
Prince.
Gotta go with the Prince.
Gotta go with Prince.
Instead of saying Michael, I would say the Jackson family.
The whole Jackson family? Like you was fucking with Tito, Jermaine, and all them?
Look, got Tito's album at home somewhere in the box.
Yeah.
I got T3, Tito's Kids. I listen to all of that.
What's one of your favorite Michael Jackson songs?
Ooh, you went there. I'd say the whole Thriller album.
Oh, I fucks with you. That was the first vinyl. That's the first vinyl I ever got. When it came to like albums, Thriller, I got it on vinyl. And man, I used to have this weird thing, and I was, just a kid at that time. I would all the way at the end, it had that. I want to say like the last song on there was Thriller. You know what I'm saying? And then it had the laughter at the end. When the guy was like, ah.
Yeah.
I used to like move the needle and try to like flick it perfectly. So like after it got done laughing, I could flick it back and it would start at the laughter again. And I would just sit there and listen to the sinister laughter over and over again.
Yeah, I'm an old soul though. I listen to stuff like Sister Sledge.
Okay.
Donna Summers was one of my favorites too. I realized my daughter was walking around singing.
Yeah.
So just we're connoisseurs of music in our house. My husband used to make beats and Def 456. That's one of my brothers.
Okay, talk a little bit about that because you got some music history in your lineage. You know what I'm saying? People in your family and the close people around they did some music locally. And talk about that.
My husband and my brother Def got the song 7 Years Spoonbill on YouTube. They make beats. Def still makes beats. My husband still writes.
They're still active.
They use it to keep their mind right, if nothing else.
Right.
But they're still active. For the most part. My husband sits and makes CDs, DVDs, and he keeps his computer well open and hot.
Yeah, that's what's up. Chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles is what I just ate with some cranberry sauce. You know what I'm saying? That cranberry sauce. It wasn't too tart. I like that. I like that stuff. That was real good.
Dressing waffles,
Yeah, dressing waffles. Excuse me. They weren't just regular waffles. Those was turkey dressing waffles. Man, I'm not the one. I'm saying I eat anything. and I ain't gonna say I eat anything. I'm just saying like the spectrum of foods out there. Like I'm willing to try anything once. You know what I'm saying? What's one of the weirdest foods you ever had?
Spackle.
The hell?
That's what I said the first time I learned about it.
The fuck is spackle?
It's like, you ever had cornbread mush, cornmeal mush? It's like taking that mush and mixing ground sausage with it and then letting it all get cold and they slice it and pan fry. It was freaky. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a West Virginia staple. And the only store around here that still sells it is Respects.
And it's called spackle?
Yeah.
Cornbread mush
With ground pork sausage all mixed in it.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'd try it, but you know what I'm saying? I was just going to go out
You
like...
asked me what was the strangest. To
Yeah.
me, that was the strangest.
Yeah, I was going to say something like, yeah, I had octopus before. You know what I'm saying?
I have conch.
Conch? Oh, yeah.
I eat octopus all the time. Like,
Yeah.
calamari is my thing.
Yeah.
Fried, seared with pasta.
The other thing about calamari to me is like, I mean, I've had fried calamari and fried peppercorn calamari. And the thing about me that really shook me off with it was it tasted like a freeze-dried tongue. You know what I'm saying? Like the texture of it.
Because that wasn't fresh.
It wasn't fresh.
That was store-bought. That was freezer goods. One of them processed items.
Yeah, yeah.
When you get it fresh and they cut it down, batter it, and fry it, it melts in your mouth with every bite. It's not chewy. It's not.
Okay. Because it was kind of chewy. It was kind of chewy.
And sadly, to say it, the best place to get calamari in this area, if you're not at
Coleman's?
No,
Go ahead.
Belmont Brew Works,
Where's that at?
right on the main strip. You know, if you're passing Martin's Ferry, you see McDonald's. You take that turn, and at that light, make a left. There's a little spot called Belmont Brew Works.
So instead of making the right to McDonald's, you make a left and go down over
You
the tracks?
go up past McDonald's.
Oh, okay, go up past
And
McDonald's.
then you
Okay.
make that left at that light right there.
Okay, yeah.
But they do. They're a brewery restaurant.
Okay.
So they have all these different types of appetizers. Some are only in season. Their calamari, they put like a sweet and sour sauce on it and serve it over shredded Brussels sprouts. It's to die for.
Really? I like Brussels sprouts. You know? What's a food that you didn't like growing up and then you come to love as of age?
If I didn't like it growing up, I don't like it now.
Yeah, I could dig it.
There's a couple foods like I cook very well, but I don't eat them.
Yeah.
Meatloaf. They love my meatloaf.
Okay.
I don't eat meatloaf.
You don't eat meatloaf.
For some reason
Do you put ketchup on your meatloaf? Or I'm saying like when you prepare it?
I have. It depends on what my husband's looking for because he's the meatloaf head.
Okay.
Sometimes he wants barbecue sauce over it.
Okay.
Occasionally I have a homemade peach barbecue sauce in the freezer.
Yeah.
And I'll glaze it with that.
Okay. Never serve me peach. I'm allergic to peaches.
Okay, good to know because I'm allergic to pineapples. See?
You're allergic to pineapples?
Yes.
Wow, that sucks more than peaches.
Pineapples come in the same family with raw onions and radishes. I'm allergic to all of that.
Yeah. Wow. That's so far in this pod, that's two things that I picked up that I had no idea about was rhubarb cupcakes.
Rhubarb cobbler.
Okay. Rhubarb cobbler and spackle. But something that sounds like spackle. It's like when you working on the walls and you put the drywall up.
Look, when they said we were trying that, that's what I thought they were talking about. We're eating wall plaster.
Yeah, like that's that wall plaster
But
stuff.
no,
Like
it ended up being something different.
yeah, that's like two things that I've never heard of my whole life. Never. Huh. Man. So what do you know? Tell me something. Take the conversation somewhere. I'm digesting now. I'm feeling good from that turkey stuffing waffle with chicken and homemade cranberry sauce. And it wasn't too tart. She said it was tart, but it really wasn't tart. It was good stuff. But go ahead.
Let's see.
Where you want to take this conversation? Because it don't always
Trying
gotta
to
be.
trying to think about what else I got coming up.
Yeah. So you got the Aquinas thing coming up. That's what date?
That's November 5th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Aquinas Elementary Gym.
Okay.
Come see us. It's more than just me. There's a plethora of people up there with tables. We got over 100 tables, different crafts, homemade crafts. It's like a Black Friday before Black Friday. Come see me.
Okay. Do you like going shopping on Black Friday?
No, I do not.
Me neither.
My husband loves it. Me and my husband are the opposite.
Yeah?
I'm usually the one sitting in the hallway with all the old men holding onto the bags, and he's still shopping.
Like, come on, bring your ass.
Yeah, we're
Tired of this
total
shit.
opposites. Like, and it's funny because all the old men laugh at me. They're starting to recognize me now at certain malls. Like, here she comes to sit with us, make her some room.
Yeah,
'Cause they
yeah.
know my husband's going to still be shopping, and I'm gonna be like, I'm done.
What's some of the secrets to a healthy marriage?
Communication has been everything for us.
Yeah.
When we got together, we vowed to never have a household anywhere like what we grew up.
Have a who done what? Say that again?
Have a household anywhere like the ones we grew up in.
Okay.
So, his was total opposite. His mom went through things. My mom was the one that would put you through things. My mom was quick to beat a man up.
Okay.
Quick. I can honestly say she was quick to beat a man up. Anybody that knew her knew that. So I didn't want to carry on those traits, even though I knew I had a lot of her qualities. So when we got together, we decided arguing was one thing we would not do. We could disagree, but we're not going to argue. Disrespecting each other verbally, we're not going to do.
Yeah.
We have been married successfully 22 years.
You said your husband likes meatloaf. What's his favorite dish from V?
You know what? He dabbled this 4th of July and made his own pastrami, cured it and everything out of a brisket.
What?
Because pastrami is his favorite. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get the curing salts, the seasonings. He did that.
Yeah.
Let it soak for a couple of days to a week and rinsed it all down and smoked it. He did that. We ended up with pastrami for 4th of July, thanks to him.
Nice. What's a food that you ate that was surprisingly good and you incorporated in your menu? Something that you had that you weren't originally making before, and whether, like you said, with the sponge cake, you said you went through that thing with your testing with the sponge cake, the 8 different sponge cakes in the book, and that took you through a world of emotions. What's a food?
Actually, there's a lot of things I've stopped doing since I've been a cook. We eat fried foods, but we don't eat a lot of them. I changed what types of oil I fry with.
Okay.
Canola is a little bit better for you.
Yeah.
When I pan sear, I don't use vegetable oil. I use EVLO.
Okay. Well, now the difference between canola and peanut oil, I know, would be the flash point, but I was always told that peanut oil was better than canola oil.
Peanut oil takes higher temperatures. So
Yeah,
if you're deep frying, peanut oil is the best. I do a lot of pan searing, pan frying. Canola works for me, and it isn't as heavy on your organs as vegetable oil.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then I use EVLO for a lot of stuff, extra virgin olive oil.
Okay, all right. And so there's things that you omitted. There's a lot of things that you omitted over your course of time.
My side dishes, no side dish I cooked is cooked with pork in it.
Okay.
Not even my baked beans. I try to eliminate all of that.
Okay.
So since I don't put pork in my baked beans, I do stuff like ground beef or ground turkey in there as that meat, the filler in that baked bean. But yeah, you'll never get a side dish from me with pork in it unless you purchase that.
Okay.
Because it's just a way we don't cook it like anymore. We stopped doing that probably 15 years ago.
Interesting. But I'm really interested in what on the flip side of that coin. You talked about the things that you omitted. What was something that you incorporated into your menu that you came across in your latter days that you started putting in your menu? Like, what's something that like you taste and you was like, oh, you know what? I need to start doing this myself.
Good question.
Take your time. On Heavy as the Crowd, we got all the time in the world.
I don't know.
I stumped her.
I started taking like recipes and vamping them different ways.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that before.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with the banana pudding cake. Revamping and changing recipes to my liking.
And she got pictures of that on her website, along with other Delectable vittles.
But actually, like something I didn't have before that I now have in my menu.
That's that. See, you gotta get, here at Heavy as the Crowd. We ask the tough questions.
Yeah, it's just funny because I removed so many things. Like, I did more removing than I did bringing in.
Yeah.
We were already seafood eaters. We just eat it more now.
Yeah.
So, like when normally you would have that pork chop dinner,
Yeah.
I have a crab boil. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still eat pork. So I don't want anybody to think I'm saying that.
Right.
But I eat it in moderation in different ways.
Everything in moderation, including moderation.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Now today,
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
I now roast my own garlic. So instead of buying minced garlic at the store, I go buy the bags of whole cloves, roast it in the oven with the olive oil, salt and pepper, and then hit it with my hand emulsifier to chop it up, and leave that on the side of the stove for to go in every dish.
Okay.
I do my own garlic now.
Okay. Do you still have a skillet or pan that you use that you've been using since you first started?
I got my mama's cast iron skillets collection.
Oh, I bet that thing is seasoned to perfection.
Seasoned well. Then we have a smoker out on our front porch that we season to perfection.
Yeah. Now, when you have a smoker or something like that, do you clean the grills? Are you supposed to clean the grills, or you just leave them like?
I clean.
Or do you use aluminum foil?
I clean the drip pan. I clean the grates, the racks for it. I don't clean the walls. Every now and then, I'll take a putty scraper and scrape the access to make sure all my pieces still slide in good. But I don't actually clean them because that's the seasoning.
What's a simple dish that it seems like the crowd overall be wanting? Like, what's a staple dish that you find many of the crowd requesting? It doesn't necessarily have to be something that's of your specialty, but just like, what's a common dish that you find in a catering setup?
Almost always you get somebody that wants a red sauce something. Whether it's a rigatoni, a lasagna, something with a red sauce.
Yeah, because every time I see the catering places, I always see just fried chicken and rigatoni. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get a green bean.
A lot of times that's per people's request. Sometimes you get to certain areas it's easier to price that where you're overpricing the buffet and making mad guap off of what you produced.
Yeah.
So that fried chicken, side salad, and a pasta and the bread is an easy go-to.
Yeah.
To make your money and everybody leaves full. Right.
So, now, you do pasta salads, right? Obviously.
I do everything pasta salad.
Yeah.
Everything but meat.
Everything but meat.
So it's 2-3 different types of olives, 2-3 different types of cheese. Might have a little roasted garlic in the sauce. Your usuals, your tomato, cucumber. That's all in there. And then I take a feta cheese and add to it.
I love feta cheese. What's your favorite cheese?
Feta's one of the best, but pepper jack cheese is one of my favorites.
Yeah. I like Fontanella and I like Romana. Romana cheese is great. I got a couple bricks that I got from the Prestos well before they closed, and I still have them. And Presto's been closed for probably a few years now, but this cheese I've had for, at least a decade.
There's some cheeses that, with the age, that's what makes them good.
Oh my gosh, and it stinks so good. There's a lot of people. The one thing that I can make it compare it with is like when people smoke good trees. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people that don't smoke, and then it's like, walk past. Like for instance, I was doing this truck driving job, and I was up in the country land, the agricultural lands of Ohio, and we'd be riding down the road, and I'd swear out of here in the farmlands, I'm smelling motherfucking reefer out here. You know what I'm saying? But no, there's no, that's a skunk. A skunk was marking his territory and maybe got ran over. And I'm like, man. And they're like, you like the smell of that? And I'm like, no. No, it's just something
Trying
weird.
to be politically correct with that answer.
I'm like, I'm like, yeah, but it smells like reefer. And they're like, oh, yeah, people say that, da, da, da. But with this cheese, like, my thought process on it was good macaroni and cheese stinks. You know what I'm saying? Because you're using fresh cheeses and all good cheeses in there. You know what I mean? Real creamy and such. But it's like this cheese, it's not a good smell, but it's an attractive smell. I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird, man.
That's how you can smell cheeses developing a rind on the outside of it.
Yeah. You can still eat the rind, right?
Yeah, you can, but you cut past it to get to the fresh.
Yeah.
And then the rind itself,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you're not allergic to penicillin, yes, you can eat it.
Okay. Yeah. So, I had doggone a brick of Fontanella and a brick of Romana that I've had for like well over a decade. And when I make a certain dish, like I'm not one that necessarily like makes big meals all the time or cooks like that. But, when I make my little mac and cheeses or I make something special, I like to break out those bricks and kind of just give a little shed off on the top, a little bit of dandruff on the top, cheese dandruff.
That cheese dandruff.
Yeah, it's on that cheese dandruff. And I'm just like, and I break it out. And believe me, it doesn't smell anything as putrid as like Limburger or anything like that. But there's just like a funk about it. It's like, I don't know. It's like when you're smelling your own feet, you can tolerate it. But it's like, it don't smell good. But it's like, I tolerate it. It's just like a weird ass smell. I don't know. I don't know how to. Yeah, maybe the best comparison I can make is like with reefer. It's like, it smells like, it gives me the same feelings like when you smell really good reefer and you don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? You're like, wow, that is some fire. I smell cheese and I'm like, ooh, that smells
It's funny.
fire.
First time I ever smelled and tasted Fontana cheese after it had really cured for its full time.
Mm-hmm.
They laughed at me because I was like, it smelled like somebody went into a locker room and started smoking weed. That's what it smelled like.
Yeah.
But it was at its best. It had cured about 10, 12 years.
Yeah. So, I like cheese. Those, what do they call them things that the chocolate oozes over?
Chocolate fountain.
Yeah, chocolate fountain. Like fondue. Fondue. You do cheese fondues and stuff like that too?
I got a fondue pot at my house that we could do cheeses in. I've done gravies in them and we dip stuff into the gravies.
Okay. And when I go down to Yorgo, sometimes I get myself like a baked potato with the chicken and gravy smotherings on it, and I haven't put the feta cheese on there. But I always feel weird because it's like, I feel like feta cheese isn't a cheese that you need to melt. What's your thoughts about that?
No, feta could be hot or cold.
Yeah.
Because I put feta inside that pasta salad, but I also chop up cauliflower real fine, so you don't know the difference between the feta and the cauliflower until you bite into it.
You sneaky devil, you. She trying to step on the product. Like, oh, this brick of Fontanella is $50. No, let me go ahead and get like a $10 brick of that and go ahead and put some of this cauliflower, crush it up in there. They won't know the difference. You know what I'm saying?
It's healthy. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Pasta salad, cheeses, tools to use. Music. What you got? Go ahead. Go ahead with something. I need to take another bite or something. The QR code's right there. The Cash App's in the description. You know what I'm saying?
Come holla at us.
Come holla at us. I'm going to have some great guests.
You got a baby shower coming up and you don't have a clue what you want, sit down with me. Mm-hmm. I can do $25 consultations too. Help you come up with your whole menu, your whole scenery. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to have me do it. I know everybody still get their families to get together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we can work out a list together that way you and your family know who doing what.
Right.
And they can't say they didn't know because we'll get it marked down.
Yeah. And
so you more than welcome to come see me for a $25 consultation on how to get your event done and set up the way you want it.
So you ain't got to cook for them. You could just give them the advice and lead them in the right direction.
And it all works. We here to help the community be better. So it ain't always about me being the only one making the buck. I know other friends that cook. I know people that do other things to help out a party.
Yeah, like you said, you got the people with the balloons and put streamers up and such.
We're here to help each other all make it.
So Not only are you a caterer, but you are also an event organizer.
I have been. I have been.
Because that's what that sounds like. You know what I'm saying? You give a little bit of a consultation, you know what I'm saying? And point a few fingers and push a few buttons, you know what I'm saying?
I'm also a certified nutritionist. I got a couple people that come and get advice on stuff that working with their doctor, their diabetes wasn't moving.
Mm-hmm.
They came and worked with me, and their numbers are now moving in positive ways. You know, I know a gentleman, his A1C was extremely high. We found out it wasn't what he was eating, it was the time of days that he was eating around his work schedule. Change that up, find a plan for that.
Yeah.
That A1C dropped drastically.
Yeah. See, those are things that we definitely have to look at when we get older is, you know, the diabetes and those health issues that come with us overindulging as a youth because, you know, a lot of us grew up on potato chips and sodas, you know what I'm saying? Little Hugs and doggone boxed macaroni and cheese.
You guys make me so happy my mom didn't allow none of that. But I had a lot of friends that's what they survived on.
Yeah.
And my mom was different. She would do stuff like make us homemade hoagies, wrap them in foil and put them in the freezer. So I get up to go to school that morning. I could throw a couple freezer hoagies in the oven, foil and all, straight from the freezer.
Yeah.
And have hoagies at the back lunch stop or the bus stop with my friends.
Yeah.
My mom was different. She moved different.
Yeah. That's a good thing, too, because that created such the wonderful person you are today. And, you know.
In between her good cooking and her good beatings.
Yeah. Good beatings, yeah. What was the choice? What was the choice of weaponry? Wooden spoon, belt? What'd you get your ass whooped
My
with?
mom, old school, extension cord,
Get the
broom
switch?
handle.
The switch from the tree?
We wish it was a switch. My mom was one that you could hear this funny sound coming out. It's like, woof, woof.
Yeah.
That's when you know the street lights came on and I wasn't at home. She was riding around in her friend's car with the extension cord, swinging it. Well, you hear the woof before you hear the car. It's time to cut between the houses, run home, act like he was already there. Yeah, been there, done that.
Man. Since we're both Steubenville alumni, and I like to, you know, try to shout out my school and the area, the locale, on some little local fame stuff. You got a awesome memory that you'd like to tell about of your Steubenville Big Red days?
No.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I love Big Red. I love my school. I love all my classmates. We were a hot mess.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm here to admit we were a hot mess.
Yeah.
But I love being able to, like, look back on times where I spent with my cousins like Damian Gillum and Letitia Shackelford and Riri Cunningham. Like, those are people, like, they're a staple of my life. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't remember my childhood because they made my childhood what it was. You know, we did a lot together. We hung out a lot together.
Yeah. Shout out to all those people. You know, they love it when you name drop on Heavy as the Crowd. You know what I'm saying? When they could tune in just for a second and be like, yeah, so-and-so, so-and-so. They're like, oh, yeah, they shout me out. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I mean, I love it. We all in good spirits. We all good people. These are people that I don't have to see for months on end, but when we see each other, we act like we ain't missed a beat. Like, because we haven't. That we all living our lives and doing our own thing, and we respect each other for having lives.
Yeah. I definitely think that in your calling somewhere would be a clinic of sorts where you can give, you know, the youth and even older people as well some tutelage on the culinary lifestyle and simple things that you could do to, you know, help people out on the nutrition side, like a couple of healthy dishes or something.
That's why I said if I gotta force my hand to create this prep kitchen, it's gonna be a win-win. It's gonna be a date night spot, a class for the elderly. Anything. If you want to call me and say, look, we want to come in and do a dinner just for a girls' night and teach us a few things in the process. Me and whoever's scheduling that's going to sit down and talk about the menu. I'm going to get everything they need for the menu. All they got to do is show up, cook, and enjoy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
I definitely see that.
We're going to work that out.
Yeah, it just takes some time, you know. We're all in the beginning stages of trying to figure this out on this level. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit.
There really is.
And, you know, hey, all I can do is, try to do my best to show the crowd, that there is a lot good going on in the Ohio Valley, and there's a lot of people in the Ohio Valley that's trying to do their doggone thing. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And like I had said earlier, the mom and pop shops, we're going to make a comeback whether you like it or not, and Heavy as the Crowd is going to continue to build whether you like it or not, though I don't want to dwell on the negative too much, but I'd be naive to think that, some of my haters aren't subscribed. You know what I'm saying? But hey, y'all was here early, and, you could say you was here before the 1,000 mark, because when that 1,000 mark hits, when we get that 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours, you know what I'm saying? We're really going to open up the cage.
Well, hopefully we'll take that when you hit those marks.
Mm-hmm.
Throw an event somewhere, have a nice little dinner, and invite people to come see you.
You already put it into fruition.
live.
We're going to have VeeLaSoul cater my 1,000 subscriber mark. All right, guys?
Okay.
And we're going to try to get as many people as been on the show up to this point. Maybe we'll have it at a nice little venue, and we'll go live just like this, and we'll have all the people that was a part of this show and helping me build my brand, and you'll all be able to taste some of her good food. I'm telling you, that cranberry, we're going to need some of that cranberry sauce, some of that homemade cranberry sauce. That's some good stuff right there. But yeah, when I hit that mark, I'm definitely going, that's what it is.
Make it a staple, because that's going to give you your oomph to make it to the next step. Not only are you hitting your 1,000 mark, now it's time for you to find a building just for this.
Right. Because Heavy as the Crowd is mobile right now. You know what I'm saying? We do it wherever we got to go. You know what I'm saying? Normally, a lot of times, I like to be in my little studio office and such. But
I'm going to put it in fruition. We're looking for a studio for you, a bar room, a kitchen room, and a table.
Oh, yeah.
So you got three different rooms to do 3 different style interviews.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We could do one in a banquet setting. You know what I'm saying? We do one that's just in a workflow setting. And then we have one for the entertainment, like an entertainment section where it's like, people are performing and doing stuff over here. They trying to build their craft.
We got to make goals in order to make sure these businesses don't stay where they began. So let's get these goals on paper and start pushing for them.
Absolutely. I'm with that. And on top of that, and then when it's all said and done, hopefully we can collectively come together as a group and build a new skateland.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, because I've been talking about that since like the first episode. Because I was saying with KO, shout out to Blizzy Burgundy, I was saying like, when we was getting them stimulus checks of $1,400, I'm like, there's 18,000 people in Steubenville. A check of $1,400, we all put if we all put those checks together, because we got a couple of them, depending on who was who, and we took that.
Nobody thought about that. And that car lot that closed right across the street from Speedway will be the perfect building. They already got cement floors.
What building? Right across from Speedway?
They got the big glass window.
Oh, the old De Novos.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the car name. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You do have a point.
You got 3 levels of floors, all floors already cemented.
And that's like right in the middle of everything. So north, south, east, and west all can congregate in that one spot, and then it's boom, right next to the highway. Yeah, that's definitely dope. That's something that I'd like to do. That's a goal of mine. I don't know how it's going to come together, but like you said, we'll speak it into fruition. And, to be able to have someone like you be a part of it, and people like Urban Green and everybody, you know what I'm saying? From the entertainers that I've had on, from Connect to Hoff to Fur to, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of stuff. I'm always encouraging people to try to take that next step, you know what I'm saying? But you have to gain balance on the plateau that you're on right now.
I was about to say you have to stand strong in the step that you're in order to step to the next one.
Ta-da, we on the same mind frame. And wouldn't that be dope if we'd had that building and then we just had a clinic there where it's like, hey, this is where, you can, if they don't have a venue, hey, you can come here for VeeLaSoul's catering. You come here for the skate land. Maybe even you would be catering the skate land. You would be the one that's serving the, you know what I'm saying? You have staple dishes, and then,
And, I got a couple chefs under my belt, too. Like, I got a sous chef, Andre. Got my friend Cameron that's a chef as well as me. I got my friend Stacia that are chefs. These are people that I can call at any given moment and be like, look, I got this event. I'm short-handed. They be like, just give me a time and a date. I'm there.
Man, That
So
is
I've been
well
blessed
connected.
to have people to help come out like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Absolutely.
Stacia Littleton, Andre, Cameron, I'll be looking for y'all.
Yeah, that would really put a exclamation point on the things that we're trying to achieve as a community, as a group, and just overall, if we can do something like that. It's a beautiful thing. In the beginning, I never thought that things would go this way, this route, but I'm just taking it in stride and just trying to make the best of it. I'm blessed to be able to have someone such as yourself that's well known in the community to show up and believe in me enough to be like, hey, no, I'll come to the pod. Yeah, let's promote a player. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we all, like you said, mom and pop shops. Yeah. And none of these mom and pop shops are gonna make it unless we shaking hands with the next one.
Right.
Reach one, teach one.
Yeah. Instead of trying to just get over on the next person, you got to reach one, teach one. Yeah.
Well, if you're spending energy trying to get over on somebody, that's how you really gonna fail, because you have wasted vital energy you needed for yourself on them.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're gonna do. We're not gonna waste vital energy.
We're not going to do that.
On anyone else.
We're not going to do that.
No.
We're not going to do it.
Never.
No. Where are we at with it? I don't know. We covered a lot. Yeah, we covered everything, Yeah, so I got the QR code up there. Anytime during the show, you can scan that and go straight to our website. Turkey stuffing waffles with chicken and cranberry. And I got some more chicken and more waffles than the other things, but I'm doing that off camera because you see how much of a savage I am when I'm eating, you know what I'm saying? Fortunately enough, I got my beard, so I don't drip all over my clothes.
The other one's chicken with the bones. You need your elbows in the table.
right. Yeah, I need all that. Let's see. In conclusion to things, do you have some inspiring words of wisdom that you can give to anyone old or young about just what they're trying to do in this life?
Every day, wake up and attempt to do something positive.
Short, sweet, to the point. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's where we're at with it. The email and the Cash App is in the description. I encourage you all to donate, you know what I'm saying, to V primarily, me secondary, you know what I'm saying. Let's help bring a better change to the community, and it's going to spread abroad, you know what I'm saying. My homegirl, my main woman, VeeLaSoul, I want to thank you.
Yeah, next time you can put in a request. I didn't think they asked you to put in a request. I was just like, what can I do?
Oh, no, it's whatever, because I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat it.
My daughter was like, that's Dale. Every time we was making chicken and waffles, it seemed like that was the day he didn't come to the house. So make that. Just let you know how far back we go.
Yeah, absolutely. As for myself, man, I want to thank everybody who has been tuning in up to this point and being a part of the first 202 subscribers that has been a part of this journey. I'm going to bring you more content. This is my goal. This is my journey. There's more amazing people out there that I want to talk to and have on the show and have in-depth conversations about. But, I had to make sure this was on the to-do list, at the top of the to-do list, to have V on, to have her express herself and promote what she got going on. So, please, guys, Cash App, email her, QR codes on the screen. My last words of encouragement for everyone is find something to be passionate about and just nip at it. And then over time, you'll see a level of progress. And then you can look back on that, reflect, and then make your next decision from that point. This life ain't easy. It's not getting any easier. We just trying to do good in the hood. you know?
Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
Like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell notification. Ding. Ding. All right. So yeah, that's our show for today. Thank all y'all for tuning in. I say that often, early and often. Hit those buttons that matter. Share this, because sharing is caring, and it's also important to stay in algorithms. You know what I'm saying? The liking does a lot for us. You know, it brings our morale up. You know what I'm saying? The bell notification lets you know when we're going live, because these shows go live. You know, no practice, no rehearsing. You know what I'm saying? This is
Not
us,
at all.
authentic, genuine.
When he hit live, you live.
We hit live and live. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we'll be back at you. It's your main man, Most Blind, with my homegirl, V. Yeah. Hey, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share. You got to work to eat and hustle to live. Hey, I'm going to talk to you guys soon.